Hi everyone! So in this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about stoichiometry problems involving mass. Okay, so stoichiometry problems involving mass, specifically grams, are one of the most common types of stoichiometry problems you're going to come across. Because it's very common that when we're in a laboratory, we need to measure out how much of a reactant or how much of a product we get. And one of the most common and easiest ways is to use a balance. So as we solve these problems, remember, molar mass can only be used to convert between units of the same substance. So it lets me go from moles to grams of the same thing, versus mole ratio, the thing we talked about before, allows us to convert between moles of different substances. So from my given to whatever compound I'm being asked about. So let's go ahead and try out some examples. Okay, so let's go ahead and work through this example. How many moles of water can I produce if I start with 50.0 grams of hydrogen and excess oxygen? Well, as I read through the problem, I'm going to go ahead and underline my given, which in this case is the 50.0 grams of hydrogen. Remember, I want to have both the unit and the compound I'm talking about for stoichiometry problems. And then I'm going to circle what I'm being asked to find, which in this case is moles of water. Okay, so if we think about the four-step process for stoichiometry problems, the first thing I need to do is write or find a balanced chemical equation. Next thing, I'm going to take my given and I'm going to convert it into moles. So I need to get this grams into moles. Then I'm going to go for moles of my given, which is hydrogen, 2 moles of the thing I'm trying to find, which is going to be my water in this case. And then I'm just trying to find moles of water, so step 4 is already done for me. So let's go ahead. We need to first write a balanced equation. So let's do that first. So if I read through this, how many moles of water can I produce if I start with 50 grams of hydrogen and excess oxygen? Okay, so this is telling me I'm starting with hydrogen and oxygen, and I am getting out of that reaction water. It's what's being produced. Now, don't forget, really important, both hydrogen and oxygen are diatomic molecules, are part of that Hunkelbreff family, so they're always going to be paired up. And then from here, we just need to balance this. So I have 2 hydrogen on both sides, but my oxygen aren't balanced. So I have 2 on my reactant side, but only 1 on my product side. So I'm going to put a coefficient of 2 in front of my H2O. So now my oxygen are balanced, and to balance out my hydrogen, I'm going to put a coefficient of 2 in front of my water. So from here, we have our balanced equation. Step number 2 of that 4-step process is to take our given and convert it into moles. So I set up my factor label table. Remember, the given always goes in the first spot. So 50.0 grams of hydrogen, H2. And if I read through this, I see that I have excess oxygen. That just means you have plenty of it for the reaction to run as you expect. So you don't really need to worry about it in this reaction. It's just extra information that we don't need. So whatever unit I have up top, I need on the bottom, which is going to be grams of hydrogen, H2. And I want to go and get my given into moles. So I want to go to moles of H2. So if I think about this, I convert grams to moles using molar mass. Since I have H2, it's going to be 2 times the mass of a hydrogen atom. So that's going to be 2.02 grams is equal to 1 mole of hydrogen. Now from here, I'm not done yet, because I'm going to get to moles of water. So on the diagonal, I copy and paste. If I have moles of hydrogen up top, I need moles of hydrogen on the diagonal. And then I want to go, step 3, get from moles of my given to moles of my final thing. So that's going to be moles of water, H2O. So this was my molar mass. This step here is my mole ratio. So I'm going to look at my balanced chemical equation to find the numbers. So in front of the hydrogen, I have a 2. And in front of the water, I have a 2. So from here, I just need to go ahead and solve my problem. So my units are canceling out until I get to my final unit, which matches what I'm trying to find, moles of water. So I just need to go ahead and plug this in my calculator. Numbers on top we multiply. So 50 times 2. And then we're going to divide by what's in the denominator, what's on the bottom. Divide by 2.02, and then divide by 2 again. So that gives me an answer of 24.752. But we do want to go ahead and think about sig figs just like always. So in this case, I start off with 3 sig figs. The zeros are significant because I do have that decimal point there. So for my answer, I'm going to chop it off after the 7. So I'm chopping off a 5 and a 2. 5s round up. So my answer gets rounded to 24.8 moles of water. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you have any questions on this, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone. Bye.